the predator, that hunted empires, stopped when a human offered snacks. The Void Stalker had consumed 17 civilizations. Across the galaxy, its name was whispered in the dying breaths of worlds. The Zephyrians had built monuments to appease it before their suns went dark. The Crystalline Helix Collective had attempted to negotiate, offering their most precious computational matrices. The war-hardened Krillian Empire had thrown their entire armada against it, only to watch their dreadnoughts crumple like paper in its gravitational wake. None had succeeded. The entity that fed on stellar energy and the life force of entire planets moved through space like a cosmic hurricane, leaving only dead systems in its path. It was ancient beyond measure, vast beyond comprehension, and hungry beyond reason. Today, it had come for Earth. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, humanity's flagship, as alarms blared throughout the Sol system. Through the view screen, she could see it approaching, a writhing mass of dark energy and impossible geometry that bent light around itself like a living black hole. Ships from across the galaxy had fled before its advance, but humanity had nowhere to run. All defensive positions, Admiral Torres barked over the comm. Every ship, every station, give it everything we've got. The human fleet opened fire with fusion torpedoes, plasma cannons, and experimental quantum disruptors. The weapons struck the Void Stalker and simply disappeared, absorbed into its hungry mass without even slowing its approach. "It's not working," reported Commander Kim from the tactical station. "Our weapons aren't even registering as damage." Sarah watched helplessly as the entity moved past Mars, past the asteroid belt, its presence alone causing gravitational anomalies that sent mining stations tumbling into space. In 12 hours it would reach Earth. In 12 hours humanity would join the 17 dead civilizations that had fallen before it. But then she remembered something her grandmother used to say. "When you meet a stranger, offer them food. You never know if they're just having a bad day." It was absurd, ridiculous, the kind of folksy wisdom that had no place in a military crisis. But as Sarah stared at the approaching doom of her species, she found herself thinking about hunger. What if the Void Stalker wasn't evil? What if it was just hungry, ma'am? Commander Kim noticed her lost in thought. "Open a channel," Sarah said quietly. "Ma'am, I don't think—" "Open a channel. All frequencies. Maximum broadcast strength." The bridge fell silent except for the hum of the communications array coming online. Sarah took a deep breath and activated her comm unit. "Unknown entity," she began, feeling foolish but pressing on. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the human vessel Defiance. I know you probably can't understand our language, and I know we can't fight you. But before you destroy our world, I wanted to ask, are you hungry?" Static filled the channel. The Void Stalker continued its inexorable approach toward Earth. Sarah pressed on. "Because if you are, we might be able to help. Humans are really good at making food. We've got pizza and chocolate and about 1,000 different ways to prepare coffee. We've got street tacos and sushi and my grandmother's apple pie recipe that could make a Krillian war chief cry." More static. But was it Sarah's imagination, or had the entity's movement slowed slightly? "Look, I know it sounds crazy," she continued, "but Earth has this saying about how the way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. And maybe, just maybe, you're not a cosmic destroyer. Maybe you're just someone who's been traveling the galaxy for a very long time and never learned how to ask for a proper meal." The entity stopped. For the first time in recorded galactic history, the Void Stalker came to a complete halt, hovering just beyond Luna's orbit. Every sensor in the solar system focused on it, waiting. Then, impossibly, a voice responded. It was vast and ancient, like the sound of dying stars, but underneath the cosmic reverb was something else. Something almost wistful. "Food?" it said. Sarah's heart hammered in her chest. "Yes, food. Actual food, not just energy absorption. When's the last time you had something that was made with care? Something prepared by someone who wanted you to enjoy it?" A long pause. "I do not remember." "Then let us show you. Come to Earth. Carefully, please. and let humanity cook for you. Let us introduce you to flavors you've never imagined. What followed was the most surreal week in human history. The entity that had terrified the galaxy for millennia allowed itself to be guided to Earth's L2 Lagrange point, where hastily assembled space stations offered it samples of human cuisine converted to energy patterns it could safely absorb. It turned out the Void Stalker, who asked to be called Wanderer, had once been part of a species that appreciated the art of sustenance. But eons of loneliness and the practicality of stellar consumption had made it forget that eating could be about more than mere survival. The first time Wanderer experienced the energy signature of pizza, it wept gravitational waves that briefly disrupted GPS satellites. When introduced to chocolate, it created a localized aurora that lasted for 3 days. And when a team of chefs from New Orleans managed to convert the essence of jambalaya into quantum frequencies, well, the resulting burst of joy could be detected from Alpha Centauri. News of humanity's success spread across the galaxy faster than any previous transmission. The species that had stopped the unstoppable Void Stalker with snacks became legendary overnight. Alien diplomats arrived weekly, hoping to learn the secret of human hospitality. But Sarah knew there was no secret. They had simply remembered that, underneath every fearsome exterior, every cosmic horror, every impossible entity, there might just be someone who was lonely, tired, and really could use a good meal. Wanderer never left the Sol system. It became Earth's protector, and in return, humanity kept it well fed with an ever-expanding menu of converted delicacies. Sometimes Sarah would see it through her office window, a massive presence against the stars, contentedly absorbing the energy equivalent of fish and chips while gently shepherding asteroids away from shipping lanes. The galaxy learned that day that humans were indeed exceptional, not because they were the strongest or the smartest, but because they were the first species to think that maybe, just maybe, the solution to cosmic terror was a really good sandwich.